For an artist, a change in perspective can mean big changes for their artwork. One Lloydminster painter recently spent a month at France at a residency program, collaborating with people from across the globe. She and her art were both transformed by the experience.
This is Vishwa Shroff from India.
Brandi Hofer spent a month at the Centre d'Art in Marnay-sur-Seine, just up the river from Paris. The residence program there brings together artists of all stripes from many different countries. And though Hofer went in expecting more of a French influence, it was these other artists that truly impacted her work.
I met people from all over the world, and they were really incredible. That was the best part of the experience, was meeting those awesome people.
Being selected as one of those people was an honor for Hofer, and she made the most of her trip, working with writers, filmmakers, and other visual artists.
Everyone's there to strictly create, not only by themselves, but we work together on some projects, Pintails, and we sent it to New York, and we're working on another project together as well through the mail.
That collaboration and the nightly dinner brainstorming sessions truly advanced her art. She developed a project involving interviews with some of her subjects, and Hofer is unequivocal about what she gained.
My art evolved. It's stronger now. It has more behind it. It has a strong subject matter, which it had that before, but there's something more about the women in the portraits because they're based on the women I met.
The inception for her next big project also came from this trip, and once she secures funding, Hofer hopes to take her creations to another level.
Very large portraiture on plexiglass, so it's translucent, and you sand it down so it's a bit foggy. And I'm basing each portrait off of a short story or poem by Edgar Allan Poe. So I'm gonna have to go into a dark place. It's gonna be a bit haunting, but I'm really excited.
Just like the art lovers in the Midwest who look forward to Hofer's new work. Well, play is a part of life for all kids, but sometimes children with special needs have a hard time fitting in. The Alberta Association for Community Living is trying to ensure that all kids have equal opportunities. As Lauren Pullen explains, the AACL put on a workshop highlighting inclusive recreation and what Lloydminster can do to help.
Monique Smiley is a proud mother. Her daughter Chantel is just like any other 12-year-old.
She just loves going to ballet, having sleepovers, play dates.
Except Chantel was born with Down syndrome. Monique says it hasn't been easy.
Struggles in me learning on what her needs are and how to enable her to be the best she can be.
Monique is here to continue learning. The focus at this conference, inclusive recreation.
Basically to help families that have children and adults with developmental disabilities and recreation leisure service providers to think about the way in which leisure is a route into belonging in the community.
Judith McGill traveled from Ontario to host the two-day session. The Alberta Association for Community Living invited her to come. She says the goal of the conference is that, disability or not, everyone flourishes through recreation.
I hope that they start to broaden their imagination of leisure and start to individually, one by one, slowly and surely help people take up their leisure in a way that's purposeful and that says something about who they are and not just their label.
And as for Monique, she says the reason she's here is simple.
My goal in life is to enable her to be the best she can be.
With snow on the ground, it's clear the softball season is long over. However, as Emmett Murphy reports, area kids are using the off-season as a chance to learn and hone in on new skills in the sport.
I want to get the ball as soon as I possibly can.
Eager softball players have the opportunity to improve their ball game thanks to the Rebels Learn to Play program.
Drop the bat, drop the bat, drop the bat, drop the bat.
The clinic is divided into two groups: Fun Play for little tykes being introduced to the sport, and Rebels Triple Play for the older, more advanced students.
You know, they're able to run the bases, they know which way they're going already. And now it's about fine-tuning and showing them the proper technique, you know, such as a three-finger grip and how to throw the ball properly with a raised elbow, etc.
She doesn't just focus on one thing, she makes you try different. One's pitching, one's infield, and one's outfield.
The goal of the camp is to expand the sport in Lloydminster and nurture the already available talent.
It's been improving a lot because I wasn't that good at pitching last year, and this year I think I'm getting a lot better.
The camp also provides a welcome opportunity for more accomplished ball players to get back to their sport. Helping Blanchard coach are members of her competitive Rebels softball team.
It's interesting because we break it down to the basic learning and you don't realize how important the basics are. So they can actually catch now. Most of them couldn't even throw it before. And we taught them what a grounder was, so that's good. And we actually just introduced the hitting today.
In order for them to come out and learn how to be good players, it's really good for them to learn how to coach too and get their point across. Because when you are able to teach, you learn as well.
The Learn to Play program continues throughout the winter. There's another camp that will begin in February, set up to finish in time for the beginning of the softball season. Emmett Murphy, New Camp News.
We're in the time of year where a holiday company could be dropping by any time. On this week's edition of Fresh Favorites, Whitney Stinson gets a few ideas on what to keep in the cupboard to make some last-minute, easy appetizers.
Welcome to this edition of Fresh Favorites. I'm Whitney Stinson. We're in the kitchen here with Chef Kareen. Kareen, we've all been there. It's the holiday season. People are coming and going all the time, and you don't want to be stuck with no food to serve them. You really don't. What are some quick and easy ways that you can keep your pantry stocked and be able to present beautiful looking appetizers like the ones you prepared here?
Well, I think it's really important just to have a few simple things in your kitchen during the holidays that you can whip up. Cheese, I think, is the most versatile food in the world.
Everybody loves cheese.
They really do. They really do. So, you know, having just a cream cheese, brie or a camembert, and a goat cheese in your cupboard is going to make things really easy when last-minute guests show up. And then some really simple condiments. This dip is made with a peach chutney. Okay. So this is something you can have in your cupboard. You just pull it out, put it over top of the cream cheese, some crackers, some nuts, and you're good to go. We have a cherry chipotle sauce over top of our nice warm brie with whatever bread you have in the house. Is delicious. And this sweet little appetizer is just a roasted potato. So you just take a little potato, roast it off, top it with some cheese and some pesto, and you have a terrific, really fast and easy dish.
Are there any crackers that you, or like breads that you recommend serving with certain dishes like this?
Well, crackers are great and always easy, but a nice rustic country kind of bread, like an Italian loaf or a ciabatta, a focaccia, are really nice things. And you can even keep one in your freezer and just warm it up before you need it.
Well, Kareen, you always make me hungry. Thanks again for being on Fresh Favorites. I'm Whitney Stinson. This has been this week's edition of Fresh Favorites at Harvest to Home in the kitchen with Chef Kareen.
Fresh Favorites is brought to you by Harvest to Home Market, your local connection to top quality Canadian products. Visit harvesttohomemarket.ca for daily specials.